Hey everyone, I'm Allie from holisticallyfit.com and welcome into my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make healthy, nutritious, and delicious homemade breadcrumbs. Have you ever taken a minute to read the nutrition facts or the list of ingredients on store-bought breadcrumbs? Well, unfortunately the picture's not that pretty. What I find is that typically they're made with white flours, they have little to no nutritional value, including no fiber, and they're often highly processed. So they have a paragraph-long list of ingredients of things I can't even begin to pronounce. So instead, I opt to make my own breadcrumbs at home. Not only are they healthier, but they're also cheaper and a lot tastier. All you need to make your own breadcrumbs is a good quality healthy bread and either a food processor or a blender. I like to choose bread that has at least 5 grams of fiber per slice. And something else I like to do in making breadcrumbs is to use bread scraps. Heels of bread, pieces of bread that you didn't end up eating from a loaf, put them in a Ziploc bag, pop them in the freezer until you have accumulated enough to make a batch of breadcrumbs. The first step in the process is we're just going to preheat our oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, we're just going to lay out the pieces of bread onto a baking sheet or a piece of aluminum foil, doesn't matter. When laying out the bread pieces, you want to make sure to leave a good amount of room around each piece. You don't want to crowd the bread too much because you want to give it enough room to air out so it properly dries and gets that texture that you're looking for in breadcrumbs. Alright, next we're just going to pop them in the oven and we're going to bake them for a total of 20 minutes. You're going to want to flip the bread pieces over halfway through, so set your timer for 10 minutes, come back, flip over the bread pieces, set your timer again for another 10 minutes, and I'll meet you back right here. Welcome back. 20 minutes are up, so grab your breadcrumbs and let's continue. The next step in the process is we're just going to take our bread and we're going to tear it up into smaller bits and pieces and place it into our food processor. Once you're finished, next, we're just going to pulse our bread in the food processor until you get a consistency to your liking. Now, I like my breadcrumbs to have a little bit of texture to them, so I'm careful not to over-process them. However, if you want a more finer breadcrumb, I'd actually recommend removing the crust of the bread before baking, throwing that out, just using the middle part, and that's going to give you a more finer and uniform consistency to your breadcrumb. So that's it, we're done. And this is what your breadcrumbs will look like when we're finished. Don't these look fantastic? So much better than the store-bought breadcrumbs. And what's great is that these breadcrumbs will store in your freezer for up to 6 months. Throw them in a Ziploc bag, pop them in your freezer, and you don't have to defrost them or thaw them before use. Another great thing about making your own breadcrumbs at home is how versatile they are. Spice things up. If you want Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, throw in some oregano, parsley, a bit of Parmesan cheese, some garlic powder, grind that up with your bread pieces, and voila, you have Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. Something else I love doing is infusing my breadcrumbs with protein and omega-3 fatty acids by throwing in a spoonful of chia, hemp, or flax seeds, grinding that up with my bread. Then, not only are my breadcrumbs an excellent source of fiber, but also of protein and healthy fats. Sure, it takes more time and effort to make your own breadcrumbs at home, but trust me, your time and effort will be well worth it. These homemade breadcrumbs are so much more nutritious and a lot more flavorful. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to visit holisticallyfit.com for more healthy recipes, workouts, and other articles and tips on how to live a holistically fit lifestyle.